We've got a reaction from Priyanka Vadra to reports that she will be contesting the elections from Varanasi. She spoke exclusively to Headlines Today, where she said, "I have always said my focus is on the 2 seats of Amethi and Rae Bareli, and that remains the case. No one in my family would ever stop me from contesting an election. My brother, mother and husband would wholeheartedly support me if I ever wanted to. In fact, my brother has expressed to me many times that he feels I ought to. This is entirely my own personal decision, and I will change it only when I feel from within me that I should." Javed Ansari, our National Affairs editor, is on the phone line with us. Javed, Priyanka making it pretty clear that whoever fights from Varanasi, it will not be her.
Well, most certainly, and now that Priyanka Gandhi has clarified the issue herself, this should put all speculation to rest. The fact is that she will not be contesting from Varanasi or anywhere else in the 2014 general elections.
Does this in any way disappoint a few Congress people? Because we have heard of these factions in the past who wish that it was Priyanka Gandhi instead of Rahul who was leading the party.
Look, there is no question of one faction supporting Priyanka Gandhi. Most congressmen believe that yes, she should be leading from the front, that she should be actively involved, that she should contest. So therefore, a lot of congressmen will be disappointed, but will respect Priyanka Gandhi's wish to stay out of the electoral fray, at least for now.
And in some ways, we already know that the Congress has appointed the Supreme Court lawyer from the seat. Is that in some ways an admission that perhaps this battle should be left without too much of a fight, that it is Narendra Modi's to win?
No, it's not that they've conceded the seat. It's just that they've now opted for this for a local candidate rather than somebody else. This is a decision that the party has taken in wisdom, but I'm not so sure if it has been taken with a view to leave the seat to allow Mr. Narendra Modi an easy walkover. Because even if the Congress candidate doesn't put up a big fight, there's Mr. Arvind Kejriwal that Mr. Modi has to contend with.
Let's look at the other parts of Priyanka Vadra's statement, because she says her focus remains Amethi and Rae Bareli. In effect, no change from what she's been doing in earlier elections.
Yes, certainly, she will continue to campaign, manage the campaign and campaign for Mrs. Sonia Gandhi in Rae Bareli and her brother Rahul Gandhi in Amethi. She's been doing this, and she's been doing a fine job of this since 1999, and she will continue to do that.
And the other interesting part of her statement, where she said that her brother has repeatedly asked her to stand for elections, but she feels she doesn't feel it within her at the moment to do so.
Well, certainly, and this perhaps should put speculation to rest about the fact that she's being held back or not being allowed to contest because people feel that she might upstage her brother. It is abundantly clear that Priyanka Gandhi will never do anything which even remotely upstages or undermines her brother or the family. They are one on this. There is a consensus amongst them, and Rahul has already taken the electoral plunge. When and whether Priyanka will take the electoral plunge we'll only know when she decides to. For the moment, she hasn't put entirely ruled it out in the thing, but right now I don't feel it from within me. So when she does feel, probably it will happen.
Javed, you spoke with Rahul Gandhi this weekend for that extensive interview on a number of issues. What do you make of the kind of support Priyanka has received from the family? Did Rahul indicate in any way whether, in that interview, whether he'd like her to step up as well?
Priyanka Gandhi did not come up. She was not the subject of the interview. Priyanka Gandhi was not discussed in the interview. And there is no doubt that within the family, there is a consensus. They take a joint decision. Right now, they've taken a decision that it's Priyanka's decision that she will not be in the electoral field. If and when she decides, I'm sure the family, as Priyanka says, the family, her husband, her brother, and her mother included, will support her.
And in fact, I want to come to that point about her brother, mother and husband wholeheartedly supporting her. If she does choose to stand, would she remain from one of the Gandhi family seats, or would they perhaps find a new seat? What do you think the Congress's strategy would be there?
Look, for now, Amethi and Rae Bareli, Mrs. Gandhi contests from Rae Bareli, Rahul contests from Amethi. So obviously, it will all depend on whether all three of them would like to be in the electoral. If that indeed is the case, then Priyanka Gandhi will contest from somewhere else. And most people in her party believe that whichever seats Priyanka Gandhi contests from, she'll be tipped to win that seat.
Yeah, I want to come back to the point about Amethi and Rae Bareli, because in some ways this is the Congress's ace, because you have Narendra Modi, who's pretty much being forced to look at just Vadodara and Varanasi, the seats he's contesting from. There's an attempt to kind of pin him down to those seats. On the other hand, with the Congress, you have Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi who are free to campaign virtually anywhere in the country, while Priyanka Gandhi manages the campaign back home. Narendra Modi has lost Amit Shah, for example, thanks to the EC's ruling.
Yes, certainly. Priyanka Gandhi, it frees both Mrs. Gandhi and Mr. Rahul Gandhi, frees them to campaign wherever else they want, because Priyanka Gandhi is doing a pretty good job of it, holding the fort in the family bastions of Amethi and Rae Bareli. So that certainly is an added advantage as far as the Congress party is concerned, and there is no denying the fact that most congressmen view Priyanka Gandhi as their Brahmastra. Now, whether the Brahmastra should be used now or at a later stage is for the Congress leadership and for the Gandhi family to decide.
Javed Ansari, many thanks for helping us understand this statement from Priyanka Vadra.